Welcome back again. In this episode, we are going to see how the government intervention will bring back where we are, 41% and 76 billion, to equilibrium where we will be having or we'll be buying things at a price of at a low price. Okay, so we have seen IMF. We have gone to IMF to borrow. The IMF directives are, now we are going to go through what the IMF directives are. The government, instead of the government to intervene, they are calling on IMF to come and intervene. So rather, what the government will do, the IMF is rather doing it. Now, the IMF came, and within the policy of the IMF, they advised that we increase interest rates, that is IR, interest rates. Now, let me tell you something about interest rate. People borrow to invest, to expand we are doing business, you go and borrow it to expand their business. So when you increase interest rates, the cost of borrowing will be high. It means I can't borrow more. If I cannot borrow more, I can't invest more. So investment has fallen. The next one is taxation. IMF has implemented a huge tax burden on Ghanaians, that if the money in your pocket is 10,000, you will be taxed like 4,000 at the end of the day, or the money you are supposed to receive is 10,000, you'll be taxed like 4,000. And when you are being taxed like 4,000, the amount left is 6,000. So when you are consuming goods and services, you think about it when you are spending the money. So your consumption will fall. You will not consume much because the money in your pocket is less. Now let's see. The IMF has told the government not to borrow from the central bank and not to spend much on the economy. The central bank goes to the government goes to the central bank, that's the Bank of Ghana, to borrow, to come and invest in the nation or to come and do any developmental project. So currently the government is not employing nurses, teachers, whatever, is not expanding the government sectors. It's because of the fact that he has been advised that he shouldn't increase his spending. He shouldn't borrow. He shouldn't spend much. So spending should fall, targeting the government expenditure to fall. Now let's see something. The IMF directive is to fall to reduce the consumption. That is reduction in C. To reduce investment, reduction in I. And to reduce government spending, reduction in G. So GDP is C plus I plus G plus NX. And if three of this has fallen, what do you think will fall? The GDP itself will fall. So now, when they are doing this, all of this, what is happening? Aggregate demand is falling because we are not consuming more, we are not investing, we are not consuming. Now look at something. This curve will fall. Will fall to somewhere here. Will fall. I'm predicting what would happen in the near future. This aggregate demand will fall. Now let's see. Investment is not going on. Investment is not going on. So we will not be producing much. That's why unemployment is up. Because when I invest, I expand my business. I employ more. I'm not investing anymore. So now what do you think will happen? Aggregate supply, this supply will shift outward. That is, it will come up because we are not producing more. So this curve will shift. When this curve shifts, this is where it meets us. So at this point, you realize that inflation rate has fallen. So we'll be somewhere 23%. You get it? And that is why monthly inflation rate has fallen to 23%. It was hovering around 55%. So the IMF directive is to target inflation, the contractionary fiscal policy. That's why now you see inflation is falling. You can see that. But you have seen a picture being painted that in 2024, Ghana's GDP is expected to fall. We are expected to have about 75 billion US dollars as our GDP. So you see, the analysis shows that GDP must fall, and actually they have predicted that it will fall. That is how it goes. the GDP is expected to fall, and then inflation rate is expected to also fall. And when GDP is expected to fall, it means we are contracting the economy. So unemployment is expected to go up. That's why you see high unemployment, you see high interest rate, you see high taxes, and you see governments not borrowing or doing any developmental project. And then you see inflation rate reducing, and you see national income coming back. Thank you for watching. This is what is happening in Ghana, and this is what would happen. The last episode of this session is what would happen in 2024. At the end of 2024, you would see that inflation will fall, national income will fall, unemployment is now 14%. At the end of this year, you see it will be hovering around 17%. It will increase. So that is what is going to happen in Ghana. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode. Bye.